Hey, this is Matt from Dynamic, and today we're going to learn how to structure the design of our sign up and login UI. What we're referring to specifically are the different sections that you see here, be it social, email, wallets, the order of them, the appearance of them, how they relate to each other. By the end of this video, you'll know how to do it all. And your sign up flow, as well as your login flow, should look exactly as you want to for your application as far as the structure of these sections go. About the design specifically, the CSS, the HTML and the rest, we cover that in a different video because we deep dive into things like custom CSS and overrides. So as far as like the color schemes and the themes go, we won't cover that today. We'll focus on the actual sections that the user interacts with. Now what you see in front of you is what you get by default when you sign up for Dynamic. You can see we have wallet lists here first. Now MetaMask and Phantom EVM are here. For me, it's because I have used one, one last, which is MetaMask. And here we have Phantom, which was also used and is also marked as installed, which is good news. And you can see I have them both in my browser up here in the top right. Then we have email. Now, when we go to the developer dashboard for Dynamic and you click on email/social auth and embedded wallets, you'll see by default, probably email signup is enabled. And down here, it'll be optimized for Web3 users. Let's play around with these to get a sense of what we can do when we change. I think what we'd like to achieve, let's say to start, we want to build the login and sign up UI offered by Dynamic here in the dashboard. So what we have is email first, then connect with Google, no other social networks for now, or continue with a wallet. So let's say we want to build that, and we are starting with this. It's actually very, very easy. Right here in the design configurations, what we're going to do is instead of having wallets first, i.e. optimizing for Web3, let's optimize for Web2 and place email first. You can see it's one or the other. Next, we have the option to remove wallets completely, but we don't want to do that. It's okay to have it as a third option, as long as we don't have a huge list. Like here, there's nothing. So we want to collapse the wallet list. And if we look down at the bottom, that's exactly what we want to do. Reviewing the others, displaying the email submit button inside the input field. So here it's not, it's continue at the bottom. If you were to flick this on, it would be embedded inside this input here. We want to continue with this design, so let's keep it off. Placing social above email is also not something we want to do, but it's good to know you can. Splitting email and social into separate sections, however, rather than having them as one, is what we want. You can see here it's either or, and they're not really linked to each other. So you can play around with this and see what it looks like when you do have it the other way. But for us, let's give this one a go. What we need to have is also social sign up, and we need to configure Google. Now I'm going to pause the video for a minute to plug in these credentials. And here we have our redirect, which we need to be using. I'll copy that and put it into the Google app, and I'll see you back here in a moment. Okay, here we are. We have plugged in our client ID in secret for Google. Again, if you don't know how to do this, I'll link a guide below the video. We were able to turn it on after configuring. Social signup is now enabled because we've configured and turned on one at least provider. Now, if we refresh our app, open, voila, looking pretty good. We can continue with a wallet and see the full list where we need to. We can continue with email, or we can connect with Google. What we would like to do next are set up passkey email wallets so that when a user signs up with email, they get an embedded wallet which they can authenticate using passkeys, and they're not generally exposed to a lot of Web3 terminology. So we'll continue with this line of optimizing for Web2, but giving people the option or the escape hatch, if they're familiar with everything, to use their own wallet, as well as social in between. Thank you.